Sheff G came up quick off the back of his street feud turned rap beef with New York GD rapper 22G's. Sheff G's track No Suburban, a response to 22G's song Suburban, quickly put Sheff G on the map as a New York drill legend. And from there, he would build on his fanbase with a solid catalogue of regular releases, like his Unlucky Lucky Kid mixtape and a studio album called One and Only. And by the mid-2020s, Sheff G was firmly on the map as one of the biggest names pioneering the Brooklyn drill wave. Sheff G had truly made it, and if his music videos were anything to go by, the money was rolling in. From riding around in a chauffeur-driven Rolls Royce in the Feel Away video, flexing wads of cash in Bentleys and Teslas in the We Gettin' Money video, and to driving what looked like his very own Rolls Royce Wraith in the music video for No Suburban 2. Things looked like they were going well, and it was clear that Sheff G was money motivated. And of course, one of the oldest mogul moves in the book for a young rapper that's blowing up in the rap game is to start their own record label. And behind the scenes, while Sheff G was rising in his own rap career, he was also starting off his own label, Winner's Circle Entertainment, supporting the careers of fellow New York drill rapper Sleepy Hallow, well known for his mainstream collab with Sheff G himself, the track Flows that came out in May 2019. That song sitting today at over 10 million views, and followed up by the big release of his Halloween 2019 mixtape, Don't Sleep. But the W's were just getting started for Sleepy Hallow, who would go on to release a booming sample drill track in April 2020, the Deep End Freestyle, which has racked up a whopping 46 million views to date, even landing at number 80 on the Billboard charts, and going platinum. Not bad for a freestyle. This hit track would live on his June 2020 mixtape Sleepy for President, and frankly, Sleepy Hallow was a big win for Sheff G and the Winner's Circle label, but Sleepy Hallow's success is hardly a surprise considering just how many times Sheff G collaborated and tried to give his friend an opportunity to shine. Another signee to the Winner's Circle Entertainment label was another fresh face out of the New York drill scene, Eli Fross. He'd had early success in the city with drill tracks like Situations in February 2018 and Gorillas in December 2018. From here, a July 2019 track called Panic 4 saw all three rappers on the Winner's Circle label collaborating together and rapping over a Great John beat. Great John is actually a producer signed to the label, so you know Winner's Circle rappers are never running out of cracking drill beats. Anywho, Sheff G would go on to collaborate with his label mate Eli Fross on tracks like ISO, and officially releasing Eli's single No Adlibs on the Winner's Circle label in April 2020. But the thing is, making big money off of your record label takes a lot more than putting your name in your man's music video's title and printing off a couple of t-shirts with your logo on it. Trap Law Records t-shirts coming soon. So Sheff G and his team were looking to make bigger moves into the music industry proper, and a big opportunity to do so would come in August of 2020, when we would see the announcement of a partnership between Sony RCA Records and the Winner's Circle Entertainment record label. And as their first venture under this new partnership, we would see the release of Sheff G's latest single, Tiptoe, along with label mate Sleepy Hallow. Things were truly looking up on the business side of things for Sheff G and his label. But unfortunately, that very same month, problems would begin to develop in Sheff G's personal life. Having already had a difficult past with the law, with numerous issues relating to robberies, shootings and fights plaguing him all the way back to high school. Sadly, the drama would continue for Sheff G in the early afternoon of August the 21st, 2020, when Sheff G found himself being tailed by law enforcement, and deciding rather than to stop, instead to do the dash, taking place on a reckless high-speed chase in a fire grey Mercedes GLE 63 AMG. And in the process of trying to lose this 2-star wanted level, Sheff G would end up colliding with an innocent woman's car in what was only a fraction of a second away from being a fatal collision for both drivers, with Sheff G's Mercedes tearing off the front bumper of the other car in a hair-raising scene that was caught on security camera. Sheff G would end up wrecking the car after this, losing control of the Benz and apparently skidding 220 feet and crashing into a signpost and some shrubs outside a nearby house. Now, it's unclear whether or not Sheff G was arrested or apprehended at the scene, or if he actually managed to shake off the cops and escape. He would eventually be sued by the other motorist whose bumper he took off, who would later claim in court filings that Sheff G's car was swarmed by police after the crash. However, other reports would surface that there were no charges outstanding for Sheff G in Nassau County where this incident occurred, which on the one hand could be a win, but on the other hand could be even more alarming if it means that that particular incident is being looked into as part of a larger investigation by another organisation. But either which way you put it, this was not a good look for Sheff G. Now let's be real, this looks like a pretty dumb thing to do, especially when your career is going so so well in the legitimate music industry. But let's remember, Sheff G had been gang affiliated since a teenager, and the threat of being caught or killed by rivals is a constant. At this stage in Sheff G's career, considering his level of fame, he's likely to be considered a high-value target by his enemies. Therefore, as it would later turn out, Sheff G would in fact be illegally arming himself for his own protection. But the problem is, he's from New York City. With some of the tightest gun laws in America, Sheff G would find him in a situation where protecting himself and bearing arms would actually be a crime, ultimately leaving Sheff G in a tricky predicament. Arm yourself illegally and risk the consequences of arrest or running from the police, or risk your life by remaining unarmed in a city where you know that danger is lurking. That's not an easy predicament to be in, and sadly it would be this very predicament that would soon cause Sheff G to lose everything that he had worked so hard for. But for now, following this insane high-speed chase with the cops, Sheff G and his label mates would regain their focus and continue pushing things forward with the music. Eli Fross dropped big tracks like Miracle and picked up some attention for his politically charged video for the GOAT freestyle, and Sheff G himself would keep his own profile buzzing, releasing big tracks like No Negotiations and Lights On, both racking up healthy view counts. These two particular tracks would end up living on Sheff G's latest tape, the December 16, 2020 release Proud of Me Now. This tape actually released alongside a music video for a track called Mistakes, a surprisingly deep song where Sheff G actually tries his hand at singing a little bit, with this deep introspective song seeing Sheff reflecting on some of his past mistakes in song. In my opinion, this track represented a huge moment of personal growth for Sheff G as an artist, and in my opinion really opened the door for him to make much more meaningful and mainstream music, going beyond this tough gangster image and showing a more sensitive and self-aware side that has way more mainstream appeal than the gangbanging drill stuff. However, sadly, Sheff G's musical reflections on his own past mistakes weren't enough for him to avoid trouble going forward, because in January 2021, after allegedly making an illegal U-turn, he would find himself being tailed by the police once again. But this time, he decided not to run, and apparently cops stopped him at Farragut Road and East 42nd Street just before 5 p.m. for driving recklessly without a license plate. Then, after a search, cops gained access to a hidden compartment in the vehicle. Here they found a .45 caliber Glock and 9 rounds. And as a result, Sheff G was charged with 3 counts of criminal possession of a weapon and 2 traffic violations. However, in a stroke of luck, he was able to post a $35,000 bond and get back on the streets immediately. This was a bad start to the year for Sheff, having already danced with danger in the high-speed chase with the cops only months before. And unfortunately for him, 2021 would only get worse as the months went on. Because then, on the morning of July the 14th, 2021, Winner Circle Entertainment signee Eli Fross is also arrested, in this case for a brazen shooting in Times Square, which is quite literally one of the busiest pedestrian areas in the entire world.
An update on this week's gunfire in Times Square. Police have made an arrest. 20-year-old Kumina Elijah of Brooklyn was walked out of the Midtown South precinct late last night. He faces charges of attempted murder, attempted assault, and weapons possession. Police say he fired shots on 41st Street early Wednesday morning after getting into a dispute with another man. No one was hurt.
Eli Fross would miraculously bail out soon after this incident, with more details of the shooting being covered by the media the following day, with the news going on to reveal that allegedly shots had rung out after a collision between a dirt bike and a luxury vehicle that Eli Fross was in Times Square. Eli was accused of firing shots at the bikers from the vehicle and then fleeing the scene. However, the police were able to identify the vehicle, linking Eli to it and finding him the next day. Apparently, he was already out on bail for a weapons charge, where in May, he had been found with a loaded handgun with the serial number scraped off. So in this case, after allegedly letting off 4 shots at some bikers in Times Square, he'd be charged with attempted murder, attempted assault, and criminal possession of a weapon. But according to the Daily Mail, he immediately pled not guilty, claiming that he indeed did clip a motorcyclist in the car, at which point a friend of the biker opened fire, with Eli claiming to have returned fire purely in self-defense. And chances are, because this happened in Times Square, the whole thing was probably caught on video that the feds must have had access to, and it's likely that this footage was indeed favourable to Eli Fross's version of events, because he was subsequently granted $100,000 bail, apparently paid by his label, making Eli Fross a free man once again. But unfortunately, only a day after Eli Fross found himself in hot water, the head honcho of the label, Sheff G, would be having issues with the law himself once again, being taken into custody once again on June the 15th, 2021 on second-degree felony weapons possession charges. It was unclear at the time exactly how or why this arrest had taken place, but if his social media was anything to go by, things weren't looking good for Sheff G's freedom, with Sheff or his team posting to his Instagram story, announcing both that he has a new song on the way and that he was locked up and that he wants fans to say free him. Eli Fross, who had gotten slightly luckier, bailing out of jail only 2 days after Sheff Sheff G had gone inside, also posted on Instagram, revealing not only that he was now free, but even seeming to suggest that he and Sheff G were in jail together for a brief moment, and in his words, they had the jail on lock from intake. Unfortunately, in Sheff's case, due to the amount of attention that was on him at the time, in Sheff's case, bail wouldn't be an option and he would be remanded in custody. Thankfully, before going away, he'd recorded a couple of high-profile music videos for tracks featuring other big rappers ahead of getting locked up. In fact, only a week after his arrest on the 23rd of July, his song On Go, a high-profile collab with Chicago legend Polo G, released. Then the following month, on August the 18th, 2021, we would see the release of Sheff G's track Run It Up, along with label mate Sleepy Hallow and fellow New York favourite A Boogie with the Hoodie. However, within a few months of this, things wouldn't be looking so good for Sheff G. And in November of 2021, news would break that he had indeed been sentenced to 2 years in prison on a weapons charge, with the sentence apparently being handed down in October, but not making the news for another month, with it only being revealed when the details of a civil lawsuit between Sheff G and the driver of the car that he hit in the high-speed chase became public, with court documents apparently revealing that Sheff G had been handed 2 years in October for getting caught with that Glock in January. A very sad setback for one of the most promising and pioneering rappers and entrepreneurs to emerge from the Brooklyn drill wave. But at least Sheff G's label is holding it down while he's inside. He's still got music videos dropping like this animated one for his track Drum Dummy, bringing him to life even though he can't appear in person for the shoot. And even though the head honcho of the label is inside, the artists on the roster at Winner's Circle have continued to flourish. Sleepy Hallow had a solo Billboard hit with his track 2055, peaking at number 55 on the Billboard charts and going platinum. Meanwhile, Eli Fross, still miraculously on bail for the Times Square shooting, has continued dropping music all through 2021, with his track Growing Up Gangster hitting 1 million views in just over a month. And the most recent release from Sleepy Hallow and Eli Fross as a duo, Steppers, dropping as recently as January the 5th, 2022. It's a shame that Sheff G can't be out to see his label mate's success, but with only a 2-year sentence to face, he's already teasing a possible 2023 release. And there's no doubt that the loyal fan base that he had built over the last few years will still be waiting for him when he touches down. Let's just hope that when he does, he can stay out of trouble, focus on the music, and get Winner's Circle Records to the place that it deserves to be.